Hello, welcome to Solano Sports Network. I'm Lindsey, your host, and I'm here with the special guest, Amy Daffenbach.
Thank you for having me, Lindsey.
Hi. How long have you been working here at Solano College?
Wow, well, Lindsey, I have been here for 19 years. I started off as an adjunct. I was adjunct for 6 years, and then I became full-time 13 years ago.
What influenced you to become a counselor and a teacher here?
A lot of it comes from my own experience, my own background as a student. So I entered into the University of Wisconsin, where I'm from, and it's like 30,000 students. And I went in and I really didn't know what I wanted to major in and what I wanted to do. And so I took the advice of my parents to pursue business because they said, you'll always find a job. Well, I started taking like accounting and economics and calculus, which are great classes, but they just weren't the right fit for me. And for the first time, I felt like, gosh, maybe I'm not cut out for college. And I really struggled. And so my college offered educational psychology as electives. And I really loved taking classes in like creativity and motivation. But I had undergone this pre-business for 2 years, and I was determined to get my degree in 4 years. And so I went to the advisor for the School of Business, and she said, unfortunately, you don't have the grades to get in. But she recommended the School of Family Resources and Consumer Science. And so I went and talked to an advisor there, and they were very warm and welcoming. And she's like, you're going to be able to take classes in design, and you'll be able to graduate in 4 years and get a degree in retailing. And so I was like, well, that sounds interesting. And again, not knowing myself well enough. So I ended up getting this degree, and I was not motivated to find a job in that area. And so I was at home, and my uncle called from Japan, and he said, hey, nobody's come to visit us. You should come and visit us. You don't have anything going on. You don't have a job. So I ended up going to Japan, and to make a long story short, I met someone on the train who, because in Japan you can notice a foreigner from really far away, and so I thought this guy was kind of cute, and he came over, and he's like, you should like teach English here because they really want female teachers. Well, I'd never taught before. But I went on the interview, I borrowed clothes, went on the interview, and ended up becoming an English teacher for 2 years. And actually that's where I met my husband. So anyways, I liked the teaching aspect, and then I came back from Japan and was like, okay, I like psychology, I like education. What's something that I can do with both of those things? So I went and talked to the career counselor at my university, and she recommended school counseling, career counseling. So I ended up going to Sacramento State to get my degree in counseling. And so my heart is for students that a lot of people don't know themselves when they come into school, and right. So it's important to take the time to really research and explore who you are as a person, what you're interested in, and how that relates to the work world, and not try and please someone else. Because once I got into what I was excited about, my parents were really on board with it.
Right.
So that's what influenced me.
I know I've taken one of your classes, and I really enjoyed it. So could you let us know what kind of resources your classes provide, or what kind of resources you provide for the students here? Yeah,
so the class that we had together was the Counseling 5 Career Life Planning. And so in the class, it's a class that's transferable to the university, the UC and the CSU. And students take different assessments about their personality and their interests. We look at what your values are, your skills, and then all that information is connected to careers, and then you research those careers so that you can choose the career that you're most interested in and most passionate about. And so there's that class, and then there's other counseling classes as well, study techniques, and available to students to help them through their education.
Well, I appreciate everything you've taught and been part of through my experience here at Solano.
Excellent.
Besides working here, what are some of your hobbies outside of school or outside of work?
Yeah, well, it is.
It is
work
school.
Is school.
Yes.
That's
your
the
work
beauty
here.
of working in education is you feel like you're still in school, because it's like everything, you're always learning. You stay young. And so some of my hobbies, so speaking of being a student, like when I was here, I would take like PE classes, I would take mountain biking and aerobics. I really like to be active. And so that I would say is a hobby. I like to exercise, I like to jog, I play tennis with my husband, and I like nutrition. baking, cooking, that kind of thing.
So another question I had for you then was, how do you balance your work and home life? But it sounds like you have a pretty good balance.
It's always a challenge when you're working
Right.
in education because there's always more that you can be doing. But so with balance, so I have a Bible study club that I do here on campus with students on Wednesdays at noon, and so I start my day off with Bible study and prayer, and I exercise, and so I do that at the beginning of the day to kind of give me energy and insight for the rest of the day. And you know, other things to make it balanced is trying to, because we can take a lot of time off in education. That's one of the real, well, there's many beauties of working in education, but that's one of the things, you know, we get like 2 weeks off at Christmas, and as we can take the whole summer off if we want to. So I try and take time off as well to spend with family and do fun things.
Well, what do you enjoy most about working here at Solano?
I would say working at a community college is such a blessing because I feel like I'm really making a difference in the lives of students. So you are a prime example of a student who was a joy to have in class and was just such a pleasure. And to see you grow and blossom over the past year, for me, that's what it's all about. So,
well, thank you, Ms. Daffenbach. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. This is Lindsey and Ms. Daffenbach. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Lindsey.
Thank you.
The exponential growth from the program from my first year to my third year now, that's what keeps me coming back and keeps me excited and just like fulfills me as a person.
It's so impressive, and we every time we walk in here, you guys are doing something different. It's great. It's
Nothing but opportunities here, and we have sports to cover, we have the equipment.
Because the more ambitious you are, the more opportunities you'll have.
On-the-job training is huge.
You get the hands-on experience.
When someone asks who can do it, you know, you can raise your hand and say, I can do it. So
Joining the class was the best decision I ever made.
Stand by, we're going to go to cut one. And cut one. Cross court to Audrey Jones. Audrey for three! And it's good! With 1.3 seconds left on the game clock. Audrey Jones with one of the biggest shots ever.
the sky's the limit, really, with what we can do here.